Seniors over 60, stop eating these 7 worst fruits. They destroy leg strength. Do you ever find yourself asking, why do my legs feel so much weaker lately? You're eating well, exercising regularly, doing everything you think you should be, but somehow stairs seem steeper, getting up from a chair feels like more of a struggle than it should, and your legs just don't feel as strong as they used to. Is this just a normal part of aging, or could there be something sneaky, something you're not aware of, silently robbing you of your leg strength and mobility? It's easy to think that getting older is the only reason your legs don't feel the way they used to. But what if I told you it's not just about what you aren't doing, it's also about what you are doing that could be making things worse? For years, we've been told that fruits are always healthy, especially for seniors. But what if the very fruits you eat every day, thinking you're doing your body a favor, are quietly weakening your legs, inflaming your joints, and making simple movements feel like a challenge? Stick with me because today I'm going to reveal the shocking truth about 7 fruits that could be secretly destroying your leg strength and, more importantly, how you can protect yourself from the damage they cause. 1. Pineapple. Let's kick things off with pineapple, a fruit that many people consider a healthy go-to because of its sweet taste and anti-inflammatory benefits. Pineapple is packed with bromelain, an enzyme that's often celebrated for reducing swelling and inflammation, making it sound like the perfect choice, right? But here's the twist. While pineapple seems great for reducing inflammation, it could actually be making your legs feel worse as you get older, especially if you've been noticing more discomfort or fatigue in your legs. Here's why. Pineapple contains both natural sugars and acids that can lead to blood sugar spikes when you eat it. Now, when we're younger, our bodies can handle these sugar spikes better, but once we hit our 60s, our blood vessels don't respond as well. Those sudden surges in blood sugar can harm circulation, especially in the smaller blood vessels that carry oxygen to your legs and feet. This means less oxygen gets to your muscles and joints, causing that feeling of heaviness, fatigue, and pain in your legs that many older adults experience. It might seem like a small issue, but the truth is, it can make a significant difference in how your legs feel day to day. And it doesn't stop there. The acidity in pineapple, while part of what gives it that tangy taste, can also aggravate joints, particularly if you already suffer from conditions like arthritis or general joint pain. Over time, this added acidity can make your knees, hips, and ankles feel even stiffer and more inflamed. It's a sneaky little effect that can slowly chip away at your leg strength without you even realizing it. Now, don't get me wrong, pineapple isn't bad for you and you don't have to completely cut it out of your diet. But if you've been struggling with chronic leg pain or discomfort, it might be worth limiting how much pineapple you eat. It's a small change that can go a long way in helping your legs feel less heavy and more mobile. Sometimes it's the little things, like cutting back on a fruit we thought was harmless, that make the biggest difference in how we feel. So the next time you grab a slice of pineapple, think about how it might be affecting your legs and whether it's worth swapping for something that will support your mobility a little more effectively. Trust me, your legs will thank you for it. 2. Bananas. Next on the list is something we all love, bananas. They're sweet, satisfying, and packed with potassium, a mineral that's supposed to help with muscle function and cramping. It's easy to think that bananas are one of those fruits you can eat without a second thought, especially when you're trying to stay healthy. But here's the catch. Bananas are loaded with sugar and fast-digesting carbs. And for those of us over 60, that's where the problem begins. When you eat a banana, your blood sugar spikes quickly. And while that might not sound like a big deal when you're young, it becomes a bigger issue as you age. Our bodies aren't as efficient at managing these blood sugar spikes as they once were. What does that mean for you? It means those frequent spikes in blood sugar can weaken your circulation, which is especially harmful for your legs. Poor circulation reduces the amount of oxygen and nutrients that get to your muscles, and that's when things start to go downhill. If you've ever felt your legs feeling heavy, or if your calves have gotten stiff, especially after walking or climbing stairs, you might be dealing with the effects of those blood sugar spikes. And it's not just about how your legs feel during the day. Over time, this constant strain can lead to more serious discomfort, like chronic aching or a constant feeling of weariness in your legs. And if you already have heart issues or struggle with fluid retention, bananas can make those problems even worse. The sugar and carbs in bananas can cause swelling in your ankles and feet, leaving you feeling more uncomfortable and immobile. I know, it's hard to believe, especially since bananas are often thought of as the healthy snack, but the reality is that for seniors over 60, bananas may not be as harmless as they seem. You don't need to cut them out of your diet completely, but if you've been struggling with leg pain, stiffness, or swelling, it might be time to cut back on this sweet fruit. It's all about making the small changes that add up, and reducing your banana intake could make a significant difference in how your legs feel. Don't let this seemingly innocent fruit sneak up on you and cause more discomfort than you realize. Make the conscious choice to protect your legs and keep them strong and healthy for years to come. 3. Grapes. Now let's talk about grapes. At first glance, they might seem like the perfect snack. Small, juicy, and easy to snack on throughout the day. It's so tempting to grab a handful of grapes, toss them in your mouth, and keep going. But for seniors, grapes can pack more of a punch than most people realize. You see, grapes are high in fructose, a form of sugar that's quickly absorbed by your liver. While fructose might seem harmless in small amounts, when your body can't process it efficiently, which gets harder as we age, it turns into fat and uric acid. Over time, this buildup of uric acid in your body can lead to some serious problems, especially for your joints. Those small, sweet grapes you've been munching on could be silently causing pain, swelling, and stiffness, particularly in your toes, ankles, and knees. That burning sensation you feel in your joints after a walk? It might be due to the fructose building up in your system and settling into your joints, making each step feel like more of a struggle. The problem is that grapes are so easy to overeat. They're small, they're sweet, and it's all too easy to keep reaching for more without thinking about the toll they might be taking on your body. Before you know it, you've eaten way more than you intended, and that's when the damage starts. Even a handful of grapes can trigger those issues with uric acid, and for seniors, that's a slippery slope toward more serious joint problems. It's not something you notice right away, but over time, you might start feeling the difference. Your legs may become stiffer, less flexible, and more painful, especially after physical activity. It's crucial to recognize that something as seemingly innocent as a few grapes can be silently hurting your leg health. While they may be a quick and convenient snack, they're also working against you in ways you might not feel immediately. So, the next time you're tempted by a bunch of grapes, remember that they might not be as harmless as they seem. If you want to keep your legs feeling strong, flexible, and pain-free, it's a good idea to cut back on these small, potent fruits. A little awareness can go a long way in making sure you're doing right by your body, especially as you age. 4. Watermelon. Watermelon is often a go-to fruit during the hot summer months. It's hydrating, low in calories, and feels so refreshing as you bite into those juicy, sweet chunks. But there's something you might not know. While watermelon seems like the perfect treat, it can actually be a hidden threat, especially for seniors. The issue with watermelon lies in its glycemic index. This means it can cause a rapid spike in your blood sugar, much like eating a piece of candy. When we're younger, our bodies are usually pretty good at handling these sugar spikes. But as we age, our insulin regulation starts to decline, making it much harder to manage these spikes effectively. And when blood sugar levels surge quickly, it sets off a chain reaction of problems. One of the most troubling consequences is inflammation. This inflammation often shows up in the joints, especially in your knees, ankles, and calves. Have you ever noticed your legs feeling unusually tired or heavy after enjoying some watermelon? Or maybe your ankles start to swell, or you feel discomfort when standing or walking. This is all a result of those sugar spikes causing inflammation in your body, which gradually affects your circulation and mobility. Even though watermelon feels light and refreshing, its high sugar content puts a strain on your body's ability to maintain proper circulation, making it particularly risky for seniors. While you might think you're doing something good by staying hydrated with watermelon, you could unknowingly be making your legs feel worse in the long run. It's that sneaky combination of sugar and rapid digestion that leads to joint pain, swelling, and fatigue in the legs. So while it's tempting to dive into a juicy slice of watermelon when the weather's warm, It's important to be aware of how this fruit can impact your body, especially if you're over 60. Moderation is key, and being mindful of the fruits you consume can help protect your leg strength and overall health. You don't have to give up watermelon entirely, but reducing your intake might just be the right choice to keep your legs feeling lighter and stronger as you age. 5. Oranges. Their bright, tangy taste and high vitamin C content make them a go-to choice for anyone looking to stay healthy. But here's the thing. If you're over 60, that innocent-looking orange might be causing more harm than good, especially when it comes to your joints. The main culprit here is citric acid, which is naturally present in oranges. While citric acid can be beneficial for many people, for seniors, especially those with sensitive joints or existing conditions like arthritis, it can be a real problem. This acid has the potential to irritate the tissues in your joints, which can make them feel even more inflamed and painful. And when combined with the sugar content in oranges, it creates a double whammy. The sugar in oranges is no small matter. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at managing blood sugar levels, and even the natural sugars in fruit can cause spikes. When blood sugar levels go up, it triggers inflammation in the body. This inflammation often targets areas like the knees, hips, and ankles, where the pain can become more pronounced and difficult to ignore. You might start feeling stiffness, swelling, and discomfort when you try to move around, climb stairs, or stand for long periods of time. While the vitamin C in oranges is essential for overall health, it's important to consider the full impact of the fruit on your body, particularly if you're dealing with joint pain or inflammation. In fact, what seems like a healthy snack could be quietly contributing to the very issues you're trying to avoid: painful, swollen joints that make it harder to move freely. This doesn't mean you have to completely banish oranges from your diet, but it's crucial to be mindful of how much you're eating. Moderation is key, and if you're noticing that your joints are becoming more sensitive or swollen after eating oranges, it might be time to dial back your intake. Sometimes the things that appear to be the healthiest options can end up causing more harm than you realize. So while you enjoy your glass of orange juice or that juicy slice, just remember, too much of this acidic fruit could be secretly sabotaging your leg strength and joint comfort. Green apples. Green apples often come to mind as the healthier option. After all, they're lower in sugar than their sweeter counterparts like Red Delicious or Fuji apples. They seem like a smart snack, right? But here's the thing, if you're over 60, these tart apples may not be as safe as they appear. In fact, they could be putting more strain on your legs and joints than you realize. Green apples contain a compound called malic acid, which is responsible for their sharp, sour flavor. While this acid may sound harmless, it can be quite irritating to your digestive system and, more importantly, to your joints. If you suffer from joint pain, arthritis, or any inflammation issues, malic acid can exacerbate those conditions. It can cause your joints, particularly those in your hips, knees, and feet, to become more sensitive, stiff, and painful. After eating green apples, you might even notice that it's harder to walk or climb stairs without feeling discomfort in these areas. And then there's the natural sugar in green apples. Even though they're not as sugary as red apples, they still contain enough fructose to cause a rise in blood sugar levels. For seniors, this is a significant issue. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at handling sugar spikes, and this leads to increased inflammation throughout the body. Inflammation is one of the main culprits behind tired, aching legs and muscles. When you experience this kind of inflammation, circulation is weakened, and muscles are deprived of the oxygen and nutrients they need to stay strong. As a result, you may feel more fatigued, develop leg cramps, and experience discomfort that makes it harder to move around. What might feel like a healthy snack can actually be contributing to your joint pain and discomfort. Green apples, while nutritious in many ways, can become a hidden threat when consumed too often by seniors. If you're someone who loves apples but has started noticing that your legs feel heavier or your joints feel more inflamed, it might be time to consider cutting back on green apples. The acid and natural sugars in them could be quietly undermining your leg strength, causing unnecessary pain and reducing your mobility. Remember, you don't have to completely eliminate apples from your diet, but moderation is key. If you're over 60 and have been dealing with joint stiffness or leg discomfort, be mindful of the foods that can make it worse. You deserve to feel comfortable in your own body, so make the smart choice to protect your legs and joints as you age. 7. Mangoes. It's easy to see why they're one of the most popular fruits around the world. But here's the catch. Mangoes, despite their tropical allure, can be one of the biggest threats to your leg strength as you get older. For seniors over 60, these sweet fruits packed with natural sugars can cause much more harm than good, especially when it comes to your blood sugar and joint health. Let's break it down. Mangoes are high in fructose, a type of sugar that is absorbed quickly by your body. For younger people, their bodies can handle this surge of sugar without much of an issue. However, as we age, our bodies lose some of their ability to manage these sugar spikes. This means that when you eat a mango, your blood sugar can rise rapidly, and that can trigger a cascade of problems. Specifically, these blood sugar spikes cause inflammation in your body. And here's where it gets tricky. Inflammation, especially in the joints, is one of the main reasons for leg pain and discomfort as we age. This inflammation doesn't just stop at a little discomfort. It can lead to significant issues like swelling, stiffness, and sharp pain in your knees, hips, and ankles. These are the very areas that support your movement. So as inflammation builds up from eating mangoes, your joints get tighter and less flexible. This means walking, standing, and climbing stairs become much harder and more painful. And because mangoes are so irresistibly sweet and delicious, it's easy to overindulge, which can exacerbate the problem. Over time, this can weaken circulation in your legs, which makes it harder to keep your muscles active and strong. The result? Slower movement, more joint discomfort, and a significant reduction in your overall mobility. Now, don't get me wrong, mangoes do have some nutritional benefits, and in moderation, they can be a tasty, refreshing treat. But when you're over 60 and dealing with things like joint pain, stiffness, or swelling, it's important to be cautious with fruits like mangoes. The sugar content in them may seem harmless, but for your legs and joints, it can lead to a downward spiral of inflammation and pain that could take a toll on your quality of life. So while mangoes might seem like the perfect natural snack, they can quickly turn into a sweet danger for seniors. If you've been noticing your legs feel heavier, more stiff, or more painful lately, it might be worth reconsidering your mango consumption. Small changes like this can make a big difference in how you feel and move every day. You deserve to enjoy life without constant leg discomfort, and part of that is being mindful of the foods that may be causing more harm than good. You've now learned about 7 fruits that, while they may seem healthy, could be secretly hurting your legs and joints as you get older. It's important to remember that as we age, our bodies respond differently to the foods we eat. The wrong fruits can trigger inflammation, disrupt circulation, and even weaken muscles, leading to pain, stiffness, and slower movement. But don't worry, you're not alone in this journey. The good news is there are plenty of fruits that can actually help support your legs and joints, reducing inflammation and boosting circulation. Berries, cherries, avocados, papayas, and pears are just a few examples of fruits that can keep you feeling strong and mobile. With the right choices, you can enjoy a life with less pain, more flexibility, and a whole lot more movement.